Hey, we're good. Trump back with another video. This video right here, we got rappers who almost died. Let's go ahead and get into it. Make sure y'all like, comment if y'all new. Go ahead and subscribe to my post notification bell so you know in case every time I drop. We're gonna roll to 200 subscribers. They get the invoice. Just send to my Instagram. Comment below. This is the month to do it. Cause I'm writing everything. My minimum of videos is 31 videos. So this the month to, you feel me? You got a song, all the others, you feel me? Yeah, for sure. But let's go ahead and get into it. Make sure y'all. I already said that. Let's do it.
Rapper is a dangerous job. If you come from the streets, ops might still be trying to catch you lacking. But even artists who don't gangbang are safe. Today, we're breaking down 6 of the biggest rappers who almost died and lived to talk about it. NBA YoungBoy is one of the hottest rappers in the game. It's a miracle he's still even alive. He has scars on his face and head, and he told DJ Small Eyes that it came from an accident when he was just 4 years old. YoungBoy was wrestling with some older kids at his grandma's house when something went wrong and he got slammed off the bed. He broke his neck.
Oh shit. I did a bad that shit like nigga. Shit, young man. Now you're multi-millionaire. Look how light turn.
And could have died or been paralyzed. The doctor saved his life and put him in a halo, which is an implant that stabilizes the spine and stops it from moving. The halo has to be drilled into his head, which is how he got the famous scars. He also nearly died back in 2019 when a shooter started letting off shots at him and his girlfriend outside a hotel in Miami. The shooter missed YoungBoy, but his girl got hit and an innocent bystander was tragically killed. A year after the Miami situation, YoungBoy says he almost died in another drive-by. He hopped on IG Live and told fans, "I could have died from a drive-by yesterday." It's not clear exactly what went down, but luckily, YoungBoy made it out alive. YoungBoy's been dodging death since he was a kid, but he doesn't think his luck is gonna last. Back in March, a message between him and his homie Chris James leaked online. In a screenshot, YoungBoy says, "LOL, I'm headed to a cell or the grave very soon. I wouldn't give a f with her or who thought. Murder me. I wish the best for your." YoungBoy just beat his Fed case and is back to making music, so hopefully he's wrong about his future. Hip hop has been wild lately, and it would be a tragedy if we lost another young artist like him. Eminem is one of the biggest rappers of all time, but he's always been open about his.
He's the biggest rapper of all time, yeah. There's not too many songs I know about Eminem. I'm just giving the hunt.
Wild life. He grew up in an abusive home and saw his mom going through drug addiction, and he ended up getting hooked on painkillers too. When M was interviewed for the documentary How to Make Money Selling Drugs in 2013, he said, "I don't know at what point exactly it started to be a problem. I just remember liking it more and more." M says he didn't think it was a problem because he wasn't out there shooting heroin, but the pills almost killed him. At one point.
So this man popped pills at 13? Shit. This nigga younger than him. That do that shit now.
He was popping 60 volume and 30 Viking pills every day.
What he was doing?
And eventually his body.
I probably said that shit wrong.
He said, "My organs were shutting down. My liver, kidneys, everything. They didn't think I was gonna make it. The doctors told me I'd done the equivalent of 4 bags of heroin. They said I was about 2 hours from dying." M used pills for so long that he didn't even know how to live without them. He said, "Some days I would lay in bed and take pills and cry. I needed pills in my body just to feel normal, so I wouldn't be sick. It was a vicious cycle." Luckily, he survived the overdose and decided to kick the habit for good. He linked back up with Elton John, who went through cocaine addiction back in the day, and eventually, M was able to recover. In 2022, he went on his manager Paul Rosenberg's podcast and talks about how he thought he might have given himself brain damage. He said, "I was so scatterbrained that people around me thought that I might have given myself brain damage. I was in this weird fog for months. Like, literally, I wasn't making sense. It had been so long since I've done vocals without a ton of volume and Vicodin. I almost had to relearn how to rap." Eminem survived and went back to top in the charts, and hopefully, he won't have any more close calls like that again. Lil Wayne is another rapper who needs no introduction. He's one of the highest selling rappers of all time, and he's also the dude who introduced Drake and Nicki Minaj to the rap game. But all of that almost didn't happen.
Oh, that lean?
Years old, Wayne attempted suicide and nearly died. Back then, Wayne already knew he wanted to be a rapper, but his mom wasn't rocking with the idea. Wayne went on the Uncomfortable Conversations with the Black Men show with Emmanuel Acho and said, when I was told that I couldn't have what I wanted, what I dreamed of, what I desired, and that was to rap, I was willing to die for it.
Look at that man dreads. If you dreadheads get to that point, he cut that shit off. Like, bruh. Like, look at that one. If you can see that, if you can see that little mouse, look at that shit. That bitch, man. Lil Wayne, you fucked up for that. Look at the ones in the front. Yeah, no, Lil Wayne. It's time to go bald. That shit ugly.
Wayne was already struggling with mental health issues and didn't see a way out. He told Acho, so that was a buildup. Thoughts everywhere. Main thought was, I'm gonna show you.
Them bitches a little stink. Oh God, them bitches a little stink. They like, them bitches smell like ass. Them bitches a little stink as hell. Them bitches like shit. Oh God, man, hell no.
I picked up the phone, I called the police. Yes, I knew where she kept her gun, and it was in her bedroom. And so I went in her bedroom, grabbed the gun. I was like, you know what? Started thinking I had to get myself mad, and noticed that I didn't have to. That's what scared me. How I knew I had mental health problems when I pulled the trigger. Wayne shot himself in the chest and barely missed his heart. He went unconscious and woke up with the police pounding on his door, and had to drag himself across the floor to kick the door and let them know he was there. An off-duty cop put him in a police car and drove Wayne straight to the hospital. And luckily, he survived.
So he wanted to kill himself because his mama ain't like what he was doing. Damn, shit be deep, but I ain't gonna lie, that shit be deep. Cause a nigga like me would've said, I went for what she tonight. Yeah, what it is, war with a war, ain't what it ain't. Yeah.
Wayne also suffers from epilepsy and has almost died from seizures. Back in 2012, reports said he had a seizure on his private jet and had to make an emergency landing. At first, his team denied the rumors, but a month later, Wayne went on Power 106 and said, I'm prone to seizures. This isn't my first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh seizure. I've had a bunch of seizures. Y'all just never hear about them. But this time it got real bad because I had 3 of them in a row, and on the third one, my heart rate went down to like 30%. Basically, I could have died. He had a few more close calls over the years, but it seems like everything has been good lately. Seizures aren't anything to mess around with, but luckily Wayne has a good team around him to handle the situation when it happens.
The physicist behind the H-bomb has just broken his long silence to issue a
that nigga Jeff.
to Americans. On November 1st, 1952.
No, I thought that was that nigga, the white boy they talking about right now. I thought that was that nigga Jeff.
Wayne is the only rapper who almost died from seizures. In 2011, Rick Ross had 2 seizures on the same day and had to be brought back with CPR. And in 2018, reports came out that he had a seizure on a flight and had to make an emergency landing. Ross released his autobiography in 2019 and described how a seizure almost killed him. He wrote, I caught a cold the day before and had a bad cough. I've been taking Dayquil and using Vicks VapoRub all day. When I went to bed that night, I had a seizure, but I didn't come out of it the way.
You taking NyQuil all day? You taking NyQuil in the daytime? What do you think? Do motherfuckers use their head? Or I'm just a bad person. Like, what the fuck? You taking NyQuil all day? It's not. Okay, bro. Do your thing. I'm glad you feel me? You feel me?
The way I usually do. My breathing was all f***ed up. At around 3:30 in the morning, the girl I was with went downstairs and told Tomcat I had shit myself and was foaming at the mouth. Ross
Man, that man
himself in the
shit
shower a few
himself.
minutes
Crazy.
later. When the ambulance came, he didn't even want treatment at first. But then he started coughing up blood and knew the situation was serious. Luckily, he got treatment and made it out. But Ross also nearly died in a drive-by back in 2013. He was out with his girl in Florida celebrating his birthday when somebody started letting off shots at them. Ross tried to speed off, but he lost control of the whip and ended up crashing into an apartment building. Ross and his girl both made it out and avoided getting shot, but the cops found 18 shell casings at the scene.
Shit.
Somebody really wanted him gone, but luckily their aim was just as bad as his driving.
Throwing it, man.
Polo G is a rapper from Chicago who blew up with tracks like Pop Out and Go Stupid. But even though he was popping off as one of the hottest new rappers in the game, his drug addiction almost killed him. In 2019, Polo overdosed and it almost took him out. He's so complex, when I woke up, I was in the hospital. And my pops was just explaining to me like, yeah, man, they said you would have been here any second, even a minute later, you wouldn't have made it. You probably could have passed. Polo didn't even remember what went down. He said, they were just walking me through everything that happened that day, because I really didn't remember at all. I think it was like 17 pills I had took in one day, about 15 Xanax and 2 ecstasy pills.
Why do a nigga take all them pills anyway? Why? Like, what be the point? Like, ain't that many, you ain't find that much demons. And I know it's one of them niggas be like, man, stop listening to what these rappers be telling y'all for your ass be dead, dummy. You wanna be a rapper so bad, oh God, these niggas. I tell you what, nigga wanna be cool so bad. You wanna be a nigga face so bad, you go take 17 pills and shit like that. Drink lean. I'm gonna say smoke, you feel me? Nigga smoke, you feel me? Like them pills and shit, that shit there. You just wild. I ain't gonna lie. You just wild.
Going through the overdose made him realize he had to switch up how he was moving. He had a son just a month before the overdose, and he's so complex, so that just made me think, like, knowing that I got my son, I gotta slow down off that. And that made me quit X and Xanax altogether. It looked like Polo had turned it all around, but back in March, he posted an Insta story celebrating his track Heartless, reaching 100 million views. In the post, he revealed that he had relapsed on pills and almost died again. He wrote, backstory for that video, I was fresh out the hospital bed from almost overdosing on them pills. I popped right back out and shoot that video. Now that platinum with 100 M's by it. Hopefully Polo can kick his addiction.
I feel like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Your first time, you feel me? Finna all them pills. Why do it again? Do niggas stink? Like, damn, I almost died all these pills the first time. Fuck it, I'm gonna take it again so you could die. Do your thing, boy. Live your life.
This time, he survived at least 2 overdoses, but that doesn't mean he can make it through another one. Fat Joe was a legend in the rap game. He blew up in the 90s, started his own label, Terror Squad Productions. One time back in the day, Big Pun invited Fat Joe and Terror Squad to perform at the Puerto Rican Day Parade in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Pun didn't go with them, but they linked up with a local drug kingpin named Frankie the Terminator and were chilling with him and his crew.
Man, you just told the nigga name, like, damn. You like that? Nigga said so casually. Out the mouth.
Everything was cool at first, but then a dude from Terror Squad named Cuban Link offered Frankie's wife a drink. Joe said the main kingpin is treating us like a king. He got his wife with him, the Nana. The guy accused Cuban of trying to fuck his girl or whatever. That's when Cuban punched Frankie and all hell broke loose. Joe said, I think Cuban punched him in the face, he knocked him out. Now we go from Puerto Rican parade to 5,000 guys in the club jumping us. It's like 10 of us and 5,000 guys. We got our ass whooped. Listen to me, we got our ass whooped. I don't know how we're alive. Joe tried to get out, but then Frankie pulled his gun on him. Frankie's wife convinced him not to shoot, and then the dude from Terror Squad named Raul Conde pulled his own gun and got everyone out. Terror Squad left the club, but the craziness didn't stop there. They were still in a sketchy situation, so they ended up carjacking 2 dudes just to get out of Connecticut as fast as possible. Fat Joe and his homies all almost died, but luckily they made it back to New York in one piece. It sucks for the dudes who got carjacked, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
So you telling me one of your homeboys tried to fuck Kingpin wife? My homeboy probably do the same thing though. Don't ride with them nigga for sure. Ain't no nigga who safe. No bullshit. Ain't no nigga bitch safe. No cap. So shit. I feel it, Fat Joe. Your situation, I can feel it. You feel me? I can feel your situation better. Young boy situation, that was crazy too. But like Polo G situation with that, you feel me? Like Eminem, like you niggas went using like all them pills and drug situations. Like them niggas went using their head. That's just what it was. But that's it for the video. Make sure y'all like, comment down, go ahead, subscribe, turn on post notifications, bell so you get notifications every time I drop one road 200 subscribers to get that. And if you suggest, send them to my Instagram for free for and social media. See y'all for the next video. Cause Mellow,